that you're going to be comprehensive with me. I think you misunderstood me, says the chair. I'm still going to be tough if I need to be. So we have to decide, says Madam Zimmer. This is about whether or not we're going to stick to the status quo and that we are not going to move forward with the change in the European Union and lead to disaster, or whether or not we're going to have a new social and a democratic EU. And that is the question that we have to ask ourselves. From our point of view, we think that the European institutions have got to be profoundly cleaned and reformed, not simply small changes made. The House of Europe has got to be made livable for everyone. It's got to give the citizens of Europe proper jobs and proper decent places to live, and confidence in the future. That all hangs together. The young people have also got to have a sense of trust in the future. Also, when they're confronted with such problems that they are worried about, such as loss of jobs and loss of homes. And the thing is, we don't believe in the project anymore. We don't believe it when what we have is a kind of firework of promises, because what no one has ever said clearly is that the concept that we've had of Europe up until today, which is to look at and commit to global competitiveness, and that should be the end of the story, and that it's always on the shoulders of the citizen to carry the debts and to carry the efforts, and that they've got to live with the cuts that exist, the privatization of public services and public goods. But that is the very point. If we don't change that, perspective that we have in Europe, then I think that what we're doing is we're going round in circles. The snake ends up eating its own tail. If we keep talking about flexibility and we keep talking about non-protected jobs, how are people going to believe in that? How are we going to actually change the perspectives for employment for young people for the future? What we have to say is, when the question is being asked here about why there is growing nationalism and a retreat into the national responsibility of member states, well, there's a very key reason for that. It's that the member states are always rolling out the red carpet to nationalism, and that in fact is the huge damage that's going to be undertaken or caused to the European project. It's very important that the foundations of the European Union cannot be a kind of flying carpet. It has to, I think, be the greatest danger that we face at the moment. I think there's two answers. One is that the Union has got to be democratic, it's got to be really made democratic, and that the members of the European Commission should take part in elections. And that's a little step. That's not the only thing that we need. We have to have proper responsibility on the part of the commissioners towards the European citizens. It's very important when they look at the suggestions that they're making. Have these suggestions coming from the Commission got a proper democratic foundation or not? Is it being shaped on the basis of democratic understanding and belief and support from the citizen? It's not always about just going back to the Council. We have to establish that even the people who were here before, your predecessor, Mr. Barroso, contributed enormously to the fact that the question of who actually runs the European Union today was being answered by the citizen in such a way to say that the answer was lobbyists. It's lobbyists here running the European Union. And such an approach also, in fact, has a negative impact on your own Commission today. And now it's not enough to call Mr. Barroso a lobbyist now himself at the moment. And I want to say to yourself, do something for this. Please understand that the citizen have got to be involved in the project. They've got to be participants. They can't simply see that decisions are being taken over and above them. A lot of the answers that are putting forward today are being put forward as appeals. I heard the term appeal or call 5 or 6 times during the speeches. But who are we calling to? Who are we making the appeal to? It's not just the citizen. You've got to do it. Will everything be better now because Brexit was decided? And the chair asks for Madam Zimmer to wind up. Do you think that Brexit is better because it's been validated by referendum? We're talking about a common unemployment benefit. We're talking about common European minimum salary. Please, Madam Zimmer, can you come to the end, says the President. But we're expecting more. We want to have some concrete solutions, some concrete answers, and then we're ready to get involved with you in the discussions. Madam Zimmer, please, you need to finish your speech, says the Chair. Please stop, says Madam Zimmer, to actually always put the left together with the people who are asking for aggressive tactics. That is not our approach.
On behalf of the